Welcome back to the Tool Crib. Today we're going to be talking about the Leatherman case, the standard case that comes with your Leathermans, and they started coming out with these in 2018. Now, here lately, I want to say that I have a custom leather case. It's a dual sheath that I use for my multi-tool and either bit kit. Sometimes I'll put the crunch in there. But over the last year or so, I've been trying to set that to the side, and I've gone back more to the regular case because I'm just really trying to lighten the load, if you will. You know, if you put too much stuff, sometimes you have just too much stuff. It can get overbearing. And what I've done with my Leatherman Surge, if you followed along with some of my other videos where we have kind of gone through it and made it a little bit more improved over the original Leatherman Surge. And then I carry my file and a Linux saw, and then the extension with the Weha double bit, the number 1, number 2 Phillips double bit. I found that that's really the only one that I truly need on a regular basis. And so this is how I've been carrying lately. I've been leaving the bit kit to the side. So I've been utilizing this particular case a lot lately. And what's happened is I've used it so much that it just easily comes open. Matter of fact, sometimes it won't even stay closed. You can see just how easily that thing pops open. And here is a newer one. Now, one thing that I did notice, and I hadn't caught this before, so this particular case, I bought this particular tool when this Leatherman Surge first came out with the new cases back in early 2018, right after SHOT Show, because, but frankly, I wanted that case and I needed a new one to put on the shelf. So then I ended up redoing this one, and that's beside the point. This was one of the early cases that came out. Now, one of the differences is that you can notice that this is a lot more bronze looking than this particular clasp. And if you'll look on the pin down here, this pin has a star pattern around it. It's obviously a different pin where this one is smooth. Now, I'm not certain, but I believe that this mechanism is bronze, and this one may be steel, except for the little bronze keeper ring that we got in there, or brass. So inside or just below here, it's difficult to tell, but if you look in your case, you should be able to see it. There is a little snap ring there, and what that allows it to do is when it's closing, it'll expand and allow it to open up, but then it has its memory, it goes back and it clasps around it, gives it just enough retention to keep that case closed. Well, I think with the problem, I've looked at it pretty closely, and I don't believe that I have an issue in this portion of the clasp, because my snap ring looks good, the button here looks good, everything looks good. What I did notice is that on this newer one, and this is really going to be difficult to see, but on this newer one, it's a little more bellied out. And on this one, because it's been used so much, and because I believe it's bronze, it's going to be a little bit softer. I think that what has happened is this thing has stretched and the diameter has closed a little bit on it, so that it doesn't make a good seat like this one does, like the newer one does. It could be just normal wear and tear. I'm really just gonna have to switch cases, I think, and go to this one. But I wanted to try to fix this because this is still usable, and you can see how the kind of stuff that I work in, just how nasty these things get. So I kind of like keep a nicer one or a clean one on the shelf, so if I want to switch into this case later. Now, what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to try to take a little hammer and see if we can't tap that down a little bit and maybe expand the button just a little bit to get that retention back where it should be. Hopefully I can repair this one and make it usable again, because right now it is just, it opens, even sometimes I'll reach back and the thing is already open, and that just bothers me a lot. So we're going to try to fix that and see if we can't make it work again. Well, I believe I've managed to fix it, but I definitely wouldn't call it the most professional job that I've ever done. Let me stick the rest of this back in here and then we'll give it a try. So you can see that with that initial hammer blow, that I kind of bent that button down really bad there. So it's not the best looking solution, but it seems to be working. So the outer edge of this is kind of mushroomed out a little bit to give it a little better seal. Hopefully that'll clasp around that ring now, and it actually stays in place. So with about the same force that it would take to get the new one open. But this one, you know, I just don't know. You might check, and I don't know that people have mentioned this, that possibly the original ones were bronze and the later versions are steel, making them a little bit more strong. It's entirely possible. Now, if you have this type of issue, there is a fix for it, obviously. You might want to go a little bit more delicately than what I did, because obviously that it's not the greatest looking solution, but you know, nonetheless, it does work. So at any rate, there is how I have fixed my case and the issue that I was having with it. Hopefully, if you guys have similar issues, you can make some adjustments to them as well and try to get it fixed. Anyway, my name is Ben. You've been watching the Texas Tool Crib. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.